Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Amateur Hour Sports for your Tuesday off-season stream. It is Tuesday, October 8th, and we can't really say off-season really anymore because off-season's over. Preseason has begun for the Raptors, but this is the final off-season stream, basically off-season stream that we're going to be doing over the course of this now finished off-season streams where we talk through like the latest stuff from the Raptors as far as news is concerned, the latest from the NBA as far as news is concerned, and have a general discussion around the NBA and the Raptors. This is the last time we're going to be doing that, very likely, for this year, so decided to break it out one last time here. Watch-alongs will return to the channel on Friday, and we will proceed from there. Missed out on the Sunday watch-along. Was a bit busy with family, a bit busy with my Sunday, so unfortunately could not make it back in time to get that one started. However, happy to be here today, and I am very excited for the watch-alongs to return on Friday. We'll return on Friday as well with a brand new setup from myself. Not studio setup, but going to be changing streaming softwares, so a bit of an end of an era for this. So if you like what you see on the animations and stuff here, well, I'm sorry, because it's going to be changed after today. Realize my closet's backwards here. Hang on. There we go. Now I'm not covering the posters. See, I changed them for the videos. Now it looks like that. Door's open because I'm alone with my dog. Dog gets to come in as she pleases. And yeah, that's the situation we got here. So I'm pumped for the Friday game. I'm pumped to bring the watch-alongs back. I'm excited for you guys to see the new layout. Honestly, the layout probably isn't quite as clean as this one, but I like it. And basically, I'm just changing. So this is one that comes under a subscription that I paid for. This layout, I'm changing streaming softwares. I no longer pay for that service, so I won't have access to this one anymore like that. The new streaming software should be a little bit smoother for streams and should reduce the amount of technical issues that we receive with this one. So, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for you guys to see that. I'm also excited for the merch to be coming through in the next month or so. So stay tuned for all of that. Some exciting stuff on the way. But exciting stuff also potentially on the way for the Toronto Raptors. A really great preseason opener. I wasn't streaming, but I did watch the game and the Raptors. I was tweeting about it as well. If you ever want to catch up on my thoughts beyond just the content, you can follow me on Twitter at Jacob_Gramegna, which is just down here. I was tweeting a lot about the game. I was pretty happy with what I was seeing, other than Chris Boucher jumping on pump fake threes and landing off of the basketball court. Like, it's one thing to jump and, like, when it's a clear pump fake and all of a sudden you're out of position. It's the other thing to land, like, off the hardwood, essentially, when you do that pump fake. Other than that, though, a lot to like. RJ Barrett, well, I mean, RJ Barrett's free throws. What an RJ Barrett game, by the way, or start to the game. Like, first basket for the Raptors is an RJ Barrett 3. Like, wow, RJ Barrett's still here, still doing this shit. Then he, like, almost airballs 2 consecutive free throws. Then I think his next basket was another 3. What a classic for the way he's played for the Raptors. So good at everything except free throws. So, we'll take it, obviously. Unfortunately, got injured. He's going to miss the rest of preseason, but the RJ Barrett elite stuff that I have in the title here, man, yeah, but my big question over the course of the offseason was in relation to RJ Barrett and, how much of what he did was sustainable. I don't think he's necessarily going to be above 60% for an effective field goal percentage for an entire season like he was in the 32 games he played for the Raptors. But, yeah, any questions about, how much of this is something that can be sustained? A lot of it's been answered. He played like this at the Olympics. He played like this in the preseason game before he got hurt. Man, excuse me. RJ Barrett is really fucking good, man. And I'm excited to see how far he can continue to go with the Toronto Raptors. Predicting his stat line. I actually was planning on doing a video where I was predicting stat lines, but I'll have a go at it here without kind of looking into it a bit more. I think for RJ Barrett, here, I'll pull up last year's stats. Let's pull up last year's stats to guide us visually here. So last year, I compare his stats from time with the Knicks compared to his time with the Raptors. 18.2 points per game with the Knicks, 22 points per game, basically 21.8 points per game with the Raptors. Upped his rebounds, upped his assists. 2-point field goal percentage went from 47 to above 60. His effective field goal percentage went from 48 to above 60. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want him to shoot more, and I'm okay with the efficiency dropping. I mean, 60% is so fucking good that, like, yeah, obviously I'm fine with that dropping. Like, you know, if RJ Barrett's at like 55, 56, that's also fine. But I think, like, up the usage a little bit more, get him, I think, I don't see why 23 points per game can't happen. So I'll say, let's say 20, you know what, let's go exact. Let's go, like, you know, top of my head. You know what, let's not go exact. I'll go exact for the video. But for now, 23, I'll give him 6 and 4 again. I'll give him 23, 6 and 4. So showing a lot of similarities here. Effective field goal percentage around 57, 56-ish. 3-point percentage around 37. 2-point percentage maybe like 57, 58. You know, I this is just so ridiculous that I don't think he's going to quite hit these heights. Because, again, this is so ridiculous. But I certainly believe that RJ Barrett is going to hit the ground running and basically carry on where he left off for the last season. How we feel about RJ Barrett? Man, was I wrong about him when he arrived to the Raptors? I was like, you know, this isn't a guy that moves us very. This is not a guy that moves us. I'm excited about Manuel quickly. RJ Barrett, nice to have. You know, we'll see if the Raptors can find some potential the Knicks didn't. Well, they have, and they did it pretty quickly. No pun intended. I feel like most of RJ Barrett's success comes down to just the way the Raptors are using him, but it's mostly just RJ Barrett, you know, taking these next steps. You know, he's been put in a role where he's going to succeed a bit more, and it was from day one how well he was playing. So we'll see how much that continues there. And we'll go through the box score to talk about a little bit more from that game. Not going to be a super, super long stream today because I do have plans tonight. I am going to see the new Joker movie today. Yes, I have heard the reviews. I gotta see it regardless. Like, regardless, if it's a disaster, I need to see how bad it is. You know what I mean? I gotta know just how bad it is. I like the first one. You know, the first one was a nice 8 out of 10. Obviously, Phoenix's performance was a 10 out of 10, deserved the Oscar. This one, like, I really don't know. Like, please don't spoil. If you spoil it, I'll actually, like, I might ban you from the channel. Please don't spoil it. Obviously, but I saw a second of a clip on TikTok as a spoiler, and the second I saw made me go, why is that in the movie? And then I've seen the reviews. I haven't really read any. I've just seen, you know, I've seen the Rotten Tomatoes scores. I've seen the audience scores. I've seen the box office failure it is set to become. It's going to be like DC's worst movie. It's performing like as bad as the Marvels did. Yeah, I mean, they had the deck completely stacked in their favor for this movie, right? Phoenix coming off an Oscar performance. The promotion, the advertising that's gone around. Like, I was in New York City. I was in Times Square last week. Humongous billboards for this movie. And god damn. Yeah. It doesn't look too good. Apparently it's horrendous. I really didn't like Joker 2. Watched it on Thursday. Very disappointed. Yeah, I'm not expecting to enjoy it, but, you know, it might get to the point where it's like so bad it's like almost in a way entertaining because, like, is it really that bad, right? I don't know. I'm going to go see it. But my point is, I have to see it. If it's as bad as they say it is, I need to see how bad it is. I really like the first one, so I need to confirm just how bad it is. But I'm trying to approach it with like an open mind. Like, okay, accept it, like it can be good, but we ain't holding out a lot of hope for that one, right? Again, I'll let you guys know when I'm back on Friday for the watch party. Wasn't even funny, bad, just really disappointing, uninteresting. Okay, well, I'll confirm for myself tonight, but I appreciate that, Mr. Curry Bro. But thank you for joining, Mr. Curry Bro. Once again, we have Winner One also here. Mark is here saying, "What's up to the Raptors? What's up to you, Mark?" Super cool. 123 was asking about RJ Barrett's stat line. Already answered that. Welcome to the stream. Comic Crazy is here saying 32 wins for the Raptors this season. That's a pretty good guess, I think. That's a pretty good guess. Bullet Bill also joining, one of our stream OGs, back in the house. Thank you so much, Bullet Bill. Hope you're doing well. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is here as well. Ferris Hessen, hopefully I said that correctly, saying, "Let's go. Raptors basketball's back." Indeed, it is back. I just, the excitement didn't really kick in on the Raptors basketball returning until the game started. And I was like, man, have I missed watching basketball? Oh my goodness. I was kind of like, okay, part of me is kind of like, okay, the grind starts, the watch along grind, the media coverage grind, all that I love. But, a part of me is also enjoying, a bit more freedom towards my schedule. But then as soon as that game started, and maybe it was, the hot start the Raptors had, that kind of added on to it. But when that game started, I was so hyped to be watching basketball again. And I'm very, very hyped for the season now. And I'm always, I'm trying to maintain my expectations for what I think the Raptors can achieve this season. But something about media day, something about the spectacle of the season opening up really just, gets you hyped up for the season ahead. So that's the position I'm at right now. Sumaya was here earlier saying, "Can't wait to renew my membership." And members, I cannot confirm as of yet what I'm going to commit to. God, what is going on with me? I have been sick, but I'm not sick anymore. Cannot confirm what the schedule is going to be, but member exclusive content is absolutely on the way and on the cards for the upcoming season. So now is a great time to become a member. If you don't want to become a member, that's fine. I really appreciate anybody who subscribes, who drops a like, and I'm hoping you guys are hyped for merch dropping in just over. I'm aiming. I'm going to do it probably as quick as possible. There's a bit of an upfront cost I got to kind of swallow as well, but I'm trying to get merch out hopefully in about a month's time, and I'm really excited for how it's potentially going to turn out here. Can you promote your Raptors logo on my live? Unfortunately, cannot allow self-promotion here. I'd love to help people out, but it just kind of sets a bad precedent where, if I let one person do it, a bunch of people want to do it, and it kind of clutters up the chat. So apologies, but unfortunately, I have to decline. I'm watching Joker highlights later. Not highlight. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go watch the movie. I'm gonna go see it. We have Environmental Canadian also joining, asking what I think about Chris Boucher from the opening performance. I'll talk about him. I already mentioned the jumping on pump fake threes, which it was like he checked in. Honestly, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but like he checked in really early. So major props to Darko. Chris Boucher in Montreal. Last time the Raptors were in Montreal, I believe he could not play because he was injured. I don't even think he was there, or maybe he was sick or something. But Darko got him in early, gave him a lot of play time as we celebrate. Big super chat coming through from Jay Conda. Thank you so much, Jay Conda, for dropping that in. I really appreciate it, that extra support to the channel, and a long-time supporter and one of our members for over 12 months on the channel as well. Thank you again to Jay Conda for that. But Chris Boucher checked in, and within 2 minutes, did the play I despised the most potentially of all. Jumping on the pump fake three. Like, You're tall. You're long. Just stand there, close out with your hand up, and man, if he hits that shot over you, whatever. You've decreased the percentage of that shot going in by like a corner 3-30. Like you've decreased it by 15 to 20% conservatively. Like maybe even more. Let him have it, okay? But like 2 minutes in, I'm like basketball's back, baby. This is what it's all about, you know? Jeremy Pump Fake is like it's calling it. I know it is. I saw it and went, that's Chris, right? Basketball's back. This is who he is. This is what we're doing. But yeah, it was just, of course, right? But other than that, I did like what I saw from Chris Boucher, you know, really leaning into the energy guy aspect of things here off the bench. 18 minutes, 5 of 9, 3 of 5 from 3 was great to see. Plus 19 of the game. ESPN changed their font up on us, huh? ESPN changed up the font here. It's a little bit thinner. I've definitely noticed that. But Chris Boucher, proper performance there. That was interesting to see. What is this? Should we zoom in? We should zoom in. I just don't like how low this goes. I guess it doesn't matter. Jonathan Mobo, an interesting one because decent defender, decent rebounder. I'll kind of go through everybody here and talk a little bit about what I saw. So interesting start, but I kind of understand the decision because you put Jonathan Mobo at the 4. He's guarding Alex Sarr. Really good opportunity for Mobo to show his stuff, but Sarr ended up having a pretty good game here. 6 of 8, 3 of 4 from 3, 15 points. You know, it is what it is. It's tough to really quantify the game as well because Washington started so poorly, but Sarr, solid numbers all around. One part I noticed of this game is on Jakob Poeltl. Wow, he was great. 3 of 7, but great defense, 7 rebounds, plus 16 in the game. And check out JV. JV, 1 of 5, 3 points in this one. I seriously do not understand the disdain towards Poeltl. I seriously have no idea why Raptors fans want Poeltl replaced so bad. If the Raptors lost Poeltl, like they traded him for whatever, people would just be mad how bad our rim protection is because he's the only guy that can really do it on the team, and he's good. He's very good at it. There are loads of advanced metrics that showcase how important Poeltl is to a team like the Raptors and the way he played even last season. As bad as they were a lot better when he played. Like what was the record without him? I think it was 4-22 or something. 4-28 without Poeltl last year. So they played 32 games without Poeltl last year, and they lost 20-8. He's obviously very good, and I'm sick of people not understanding that, quite frankly. David Mitchell, plus 22. You know, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more from an offensive standpoint, but his defense is there, his playmaking is there, and that's kind of his job to run the second unit. So I'm still relatively comfortable with that. We already talked about how good RJ Barrett was in this game before he went out injured. He played 14 minutes. He took 10 shots, and he had 17 points. Like, just ridiculous once again. Grady Dick, I know he was 0 of 4 from 3, but I really liked what I saw from Grady Dick in that game. The big ones, like early in the game. Geez, I mean, he was 5 of 5 from 2, which is good. Early in the game, like, attacking closeout, putting the ball on the floor, getting to a spot in mid-range and knocking it down. Like, that was one of the early 2 buckets in the game. And those were so, like, gratifying to see. Just, that's the kind of guy you want on this team and you want or should want to have in the starting 5. That was great. Kelly Olynyk off the bench, 12 minutes, 10 points. Went into this game, like, honestly, almost terrified of what I was going to see from from Olynyk. Ended this season pretty well with the Raptors last year, but he was horrible at the Olympics. Like, he looked completely cooked at the Olympics. And I don't use that word lightly right now. he looked completely, utterly cooked at the Olympics. But in the end, like I said, pretty solid performance here from Olynyk. We talked about Boucher, Bruno Fernando, kind of garbage time minutes here, but, did his job, did fine. Jameson Battle, nice size and shooting for the Raptors out of 5. That's an interesting player. Same can be said to a degree about Carlson. I'm a little bit upset we didn't get more Ulrich Shamshay. I guess the sentiment is that he's just not really ready to even get meaningful minutes here, but I hope we get a good chunk of game time for him in the rest of preseason. Jahmice Ramsey, nice spark plug player. He finished season pretty well with the Raptors last year. They brought him back. To my knowledge, he's on an Exhibit 10, so it's likely a 905 sort of thing. But, yeah, when the Raptors are depleted by injuries, not a horrible guy to have in the rotation. Abaji, tough one. I thought he was pretty good here, but there's just still a lot to be desired about his game. Roden was fine, liked it. DJ Carton was pretty good, but a guy I definitely want to fixate on a little bit more is Jamal Shead. God. Wow. Jamal Shead was really, really fantastic in this game. Fellow 2024 draftee, Bub Carrington, rattled. Absolutely rattled by Jamal Shead's defense. Bub Carrington, who I very much wanted the Raptors to draft, ends up going 1 of 8 in this one. Minus 10 and 7 points. I believe he was gone when the Raptors selected. I'm just going to verify. I still think the Raptors go Jacoby Walter, even if he's available. I wanted Carrington, but Walter was higher on my list. I just didn't think he'd be available. So happy to have Walter. Unfortunately, he's injured. Bob Carrington went... Where is he? 14th overall. Traded to the Wizards by the Blazers. Okay, that's why I didn't quite remember where he got picked, because the Wizards didn't have a pick in the range I thought he went. So he was a lottery pick, and he was completely rattled by the play of Jamal Shead. Hounding him on defense. We knew that's what we were going to get out of him. But what a great leader as well. Even saw signs of that from Shead in his first game. And to my surprise, what's the word? He looked capable of scoring. He looked capable of being able to put the ball in the basket. I'm still a little bit concerned about how he plans on bending the defense to a consistent degree in the NBA. But those type of performances, I know it's preseason, I know it's the Wizards, and the Wizards look fucking awful. But those types of performances from Jamal Shead are the ones that are going to keep him out of the G League. That keeps you in the mix. Not as the main backup for the Raptors. That's still David Mitchell's, and Darko Rajakovic has said that David Mitchell's got a big role running the second unit. But if Jamal Shead's playing like this, there's got to be some minutes in there for him. It's difficult because Quickly's not the biggest guy as a starting point guard. David Mitchell's not the biggest guy as your backup point guard. Jamal Shead's not the biggest guy either. If you're going to be using 3 point guards, a lot of them have to play together. I don't think we're going to see a lot of them playing together that much. I think it's decent. I think you got some fun lineups potentially in play with Mitchell at the 1, Quickly at the 2, Barrett at the 3, Barnes. Some small ball lineups with Mitchell at the 1, Quickly at the 2, Grady at the 3, RJ at the 4, and Barnes at the 5. I think some small ball lineups could be an interesting play there. Or even, you just take out Grady Dick, you have Mitchell with Quickly, Barnes, Barrett, Pirtle, and you've got a pretty monstrous set there. But I think we're going to see a lot. So that kind of leaves not a ton of room for Jamal Shead. But, yeah, he impressed a lot of people. And honestly, for the Raptors, for the fan base, you don't have to light the world on fire to win over this fan base. You got to hustle, and you got to buy into the city. And Jamal Shead is doing just that. And if he continues to, he's going to become a pretty popular figure pretty quickly for this team. And it's certainly a team right now in the Raptors that can use as much help as they can on the defensive side of the floor. We got Connor in the chat talking about Lowry and DeRozan. Do you think they'll ever come back to the Raptors together? The only way they'd come back is like ceremonially. So DeRozan's 35. He's just signed a 3-year deal. Lowry's 38. I believe he's on a 1-year deal. Like Lowry's probably got a couple more years left in the NBA. Oh, he's got Nurse. Nurse will keep him around maybe. Not sure I see DeRozan retiring in like 3 years. DeRozan's still like pretty top of his game, despite his age. It's pretty impressive how well DeRozan is playing right now, I guess. I guess it was his age 34 season. That's not that ridiculous. And it was efficient. It was a pretty efficient year. Not as efficient as he's been in other years. What I'm trying to figure out is DeRozan on the decline? The indication is like not really. So what I'm trying to set up here is, could DeRozan, Lowry retire same year, both signed for the Raptors, same day on a 1-day contract to retire as a Raptor? I don't think DeRozan's going to care that much about retiring as a Raptor. In the end, he's got to feel a little bit upset about the way he was traded away from the team. What is funny is, you guys ever heard this nickname? On Basketball Reference, his nickname is listed as Debo, which everybody knows. Mr. I Am Toronto. Is that like Mr. I Am Toronto? Is that a thing for DeRozan? So apparently in 2016, in an interview, he said, I am Toronto. And people brought it up a lot when he left. I'm not sure anyone ever referred to him as Mr. I am Toronto, but I guess if you are Toronto, maybe you want to retire a Raptor. Also, I feel like DeRozan's not going to get his number retired by San Antonio or Chicago. I feel like he has a good chance to get his number retired by the Raptors. So maybe he will sign a 1-day contract with the Raptors to retire as Raptors. I feel like that will help boost any like debate about whether or not his number should get retired. So if they were to return, it'd be on like a 1-day ceremonial thing to retire as Raptors and do it together. That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty cool. As far as playing is concerned, I don't think either of them will ever play for the Raptors again. I want to look at also DeMar DeRozan's Hall of Fame probability while we're on his topic. Here's the current Hall of Fame probability index from Basketball Reference. Kyle Lowry, 85-ish%. I think he will get in. Typically, 85%. You look at the guys around him on this list. How is Draymond only 77%? I feel like he should be higher than that, and I don't like him that much. But guys who are typically in that range get in the Hall. There's a lot of guys with a lot lower Hall of Fame probability. The highest player, so the likeliest Hall of Fame candidate who is not in the Hall of Fame, so we're not counting, obviously, active players. The person with the highest percentage who is not in the Hall of Fame, looks like it's going to be Sean Marion at 76%. Other than that, it's Amari Stoudemire at 73%. These guys could Sean Marion still get? I guess they could still get in. But Kyle Lowry, if he doesn't get in, would be the highest probability on the Hall of Fame probability index by Basketball Reference to not get in the Hall. So it looks like Kyle Lowry will get in the Hall of Fame. DeRozan, I got to feel like, is around 12%. I got to feel like he's not very high. He's actually at 46%. So he probably won't get in with that. 46 just likely won't cut it. I mean, he's in the range of guys like Yao Ming was 50. Yao Ming was always getting in. That's crazy. 53%. He's in the mix with like Blake Griffin, a little bit under Rajon Rondo, a little bit ahead of Sean Kemp. May or may not get in. So it would be a big deal for him to get his number retired by the Raptors, especially if he doesn't make the Hall of Fame. He might make it, though. We'll see. Environmental Canadian says, I've always loved Pirtle. I still do. He's playing better than ever, in my opinion. Yeah, he's playing great ball. And he was great in that last game. I mean, the kind of people who don't like Pirtle are the kind of people who like Jonas Valanciunas. And it's like, JV did fuck all against Pirtle. And JV does fuck all in the playoffs. And he did fuck all in the playoffs for the Raptors as well. Sorry. But all the conversations around Pirtle, as far as, you know, they want to trade him, they want something better. It's just, we like his defense, but we need somebody who can score. We need somebody who can shoot. A scoring standpoint, like, just wrong. Per 36 numbers, he's got an effective field goal percentage last year of 65. Best of his career. Actually, second best, slightly behind his second year for the Raptors. And averages 15 points per game per 36. It's pretty good, man. Pretty good. The Raptors were 4-28 without him last year. Yeah, he can't shoot, but I don't really know how many centers in the NBA are like certified shooters. And if they are, a lot of them can't play defense. And having that anchor defensively, especially for the Raptors now, is a bit more important to have that there. Now that the first Raptors jersey has been retired, what Raptors do you think will be retired in the future? Great question from Connor here. So obviously the easy one is Kyle Lowry. I talked about this a little bit on the second channel as well. If you guys want a bit more insight into this, I will plug the second channel right now in the chat. If you're not subscribed to the second channel, please make sure you do so. But Kyle Lowry's obviously 100% going to have his jersey retired. I think DeRozan will get his jersey retired. 9 years with the Raptors. A lot of the franchise records, like totals, are DeRozan's. Like, let's look at some Raptors franchise records right now. Raptors career leaders. This is what I meant to find. Here we are. Raptors career leaders. DeRozan, most games played. 74 ahead of Kyle Lowry. Minutes played, he's in first. Field goals made, he's in first by a lot. He also leads us in field goals missed, but that's okay. So leads us in points. Leads us in games, leads us in field goals. He will obviously lead us in points as a result. Where are points? Am I blind? Leads us in points. A considerable amount above everybody else on this list. 13,296. That won't be broken for probably a long time. I guess, I don't know. 9 years is a long time with one team. Like, you think about Barnes, he's going to be on contract for 9 years. Maybe he does it, but we don't know for sure. Jakob Poeltl, the career leader in field goal percentage for the Raptors. That's going to be a tough one to break as well. But leads us in points. Leads us in games played. I think DeRozan's going to get his jersey retired by the Raptors. Further down, I think Bosh has a chance. What do you guys think about Chris Bosh? Do you guys think Chris Bosh does enough here to get his jersey retired? Was it 7 years with the Raptors? 5 All-Star appearances in those 7 years. MVP votes in 2 of those years. Probably somebody who could be in the mix for getting his jersey retired by the Raptors. I'd personally be okay if they didn't. But I'd be okay. I'd be okay if they did, because I'm not super upset about how Chris Bosh left compared to Vince Carter, who that's a bit crazy. But Siakam is also, I think, in the conversation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5 years with the Raptors. MVP votes in one of those years. MIP award winner one of those years. NBA champ two-time NBA All-Star, two-time All-NBA. I think Siakam's definitely in the conversation to have his jersey retired. I don't think he gets there, though. I think he's in the conversation. I do not think that he gets there. Kawhi Leonard, I'm not sure. For me, I wouldn't retire Kawhi Leonard. It's like not even a discussion. I wouldn't do it. One and done. Fuck that. Like, just seriously, fuck that. We're not retiring Kawhi Leonard's jersey. Siakam's got a chance. I feel like I'm overcompensating on the recency bias. So let's see. Like, obviously the MIP year, then he had 4.5 like truly like elite level seasons for the Raptors beyond the MIP season. 10th in MVP voting one year. That's impressive, man. I will have to think about it. But for me right now, Vince has it. Lowry will get it. DeRozan, I think, should get it as well. Those are the three for me that I'm well, I'm not confident in Carter, but he's gonna have. So those are the three I'm confident in as a result. That was a great question. Anybody else got a question? Let us know in the chat. I'll go a few more minutes here. Then I got to get myself ready for Joker 2. Once again, guys, in the title, end of an era. The end of an era is not something crazy. It's just watch longs are coming back. I decided to refresh things a little bit for the upcoming season. The layout of the stream is going to change, and I'm going to be using new streaming software. That means nothing to you, but the layout of the stream is going to change. It's mostly going to be the same. I feel like I have improved the watch-along screen right now. Like, here's what it looked like for the Olympics when I had it. So there was always confusion about which score was which. That will no longer be a confusion for the upcoming season. It will be abundantly clear which team is which. So I think that's a good fix. Unfortunately, there won't be as clean of an animation around me. You see how it's all moving around me. That won't be as crisp because I just don't have access to this. I basically paid to have this outline, which I'm getting rid of my subscription for this software, so I won't have access to that. But I think it does look quite nice. It's going to help with the connectivity of the stream. So in the end, it's going to look different, but it's going to be same old your boy doing it and hanging out and having a good time with you guys, I hope. So that's what we got. Aston Martin Mouse joins. Hanbo Liu joins as well. Unfortunately, a little late. We're not going too far here. How do I feel about Jacob's comments with the Raptors this year? It's a great question. It's one I'm not going to completely answer because I have answered it on stream, and we actually did upload a full video talking about this that I would encourage you to check out on the third channel. I know there's a lot of channels, but on the third channel, full 9-minute clip discussing Jakob Poeltl's comments about the team this season. A little bit of a Cliff Notes version of it is, let's not be idiots here, right? We know what the team is doing this season. We know what they're looking to do this season. The players aren't going to Jakob Poeltl's a vet, a pretty young vet. He's 28 years old. He's not even. He turns 29 in a week, I think it is. But he's not in a year's time. He still won't even be 30 years old. So by no means is he old, but he's one of the vets in the team. He's not pretending, right? He's not pretending. He solidified his role. He solidified his value to the NBA. What does he have to, pretend about? But sorry, for anybody who doesn't know what Jakob Poeltl's comments were, Jakob Poeltl essentially said, I don't know if I can't exact quote him here, but he said, we're not striving to win a championship this season. That's counterintuitive to what we're trying to do this season. Essentially, we're not going to try and win as many games as possible at the sacrifice of developing the players within the team. So Darko's not going to squeeze every minute out of his starters possible at the sacrifice of giving developmental reps and minutes to the younger guys on the team. That's the situation we're in. Obviously, the Nick Nurse era was different. We were trying to win as many games as possible, so we did squeeze the most out of the starters as possible. That's not the case anymore. And Jakob Poeltl was just rather blunt about it, but I would encourage you guys to go check out the full video where we watched a clip in question about Pirtle, and I do talk in at length about my feelings about it. But if you don't want to check it out, you got a pretty good gist of what's going down right there. All right, so upcoming stream schedule: Thursday, no off-season stream. We're gonna get rid of the Tuesday, Thursday, which I loosely followed regardless, but gonna get rid of the Tuesday, Thursday ideal stream schedule. We're just gonna be switching to watch-alongs. Friday, the Raptors are in action. I believe it is once again against the Washington Wizards. I will be present right here on YouTube with a little bit of a different layout, as I said, for that one. Raptors tip off shortly after 7 o'clock for that one. I'll be live around 6:30 to take it all in. On Sunday, the Raptors play the Boston Celtics. It's Thanksgiving weekend. Unfortunately, I am at a Thanksgiving dinner, so I will not be able to stream for that one. It is what it is. Tuesday, the 15th, Raptors also against the Celtics. I am here. I'm with you. 1 week today, Jakob Pirtle's birthday. I'm out here streaming for that one. And Friday, the 18th, at Brooklyn. Final preseason game. I am in the building. I'm here for that one, and I will be here for the start of the regular season on Wednesday, October 23rd, against the Cleveland Cavs. Do we open every season? I feel like we open every year against the Cavs. Last year with the Wolves. I think the year before that was the Cavs, though. We played the Cavs early last. I don't know. We get the Cavs early on every year. Looking back at the 2019 Raptors champ team, we were really stacked. Yeah, your starting five: Lowry, Green, Kawhi, Siakam, Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol, Hall of Famer. Kawhi Leonard, Hall of Famer. Kyle Lowry, likely Hall of Famer. Danny Green, excellent complimentary piece. Siakam, probably not Hall of Famer, but he turned into an elite player, the MIP that year, off the bench. Van Vliet, future max contract player. OG was injured for the playoffs, but future basically max contract player. Powell, excellent benchman, barely even played with that team. Ibaka, great player. What a player to have coming off of your bench. Who am I missing from the bench? I feel like I'm missing somebody glaring from the bench. I feel like I'm missing somebody glaring. Just escaped my mind right now. But that team was crazy good, man. And people discredit that Raptors championship. But, man, that team was loaded. And if Kawhi was so good and it was so easy for a guy like Kawhi to carry a team to a championship, why don't the Clippers have a fucking championship yet? I will say, though, goddamn, every time I think about that playoff run, Kawhi Leonard played every game, 40 minutes a game for the playoffs, right? How did he do that? It's a miracle. You look back on that championship. It is an absolute bloody miracle that Kawhi Leonard played every game in the playoffs. I believe he played every game. Yeah. 24 games played. How many minutes a game? 39.1 minutes a game. He didn't get hurt. Astonishing. Really, honestly, it's astonishing. 30 points per game in the entire playoffs. 24 games. 49% field goal percentage. 38 three-point percentage. This guy was a menace to society. He was a big part of the reason we won. It wasn't the only reason we won, of course. I don't know. Would he have gotten those injuries if he wasn't here? Probably. He just was always hurt, right? This was just a fluke year where he wasn't, and we are happy about that, as of course, and very grateful for that. And the Raptors championship, finally, guys. It's been 5 years. It's been 5 years. I am set to commemorate the championship with a Raptors championship tattoo. That is going to occur, I believe it is 1 month today, in fact. 1 month tomorrow. I'm going to begin the process, a 2-day process of commemorating the Raptors championship with a tattoo. I'm very excited. Going up here. Not super visible, but if I do this, it'll be visible. All right, guys, 6:50. That's all the time I got today. I am going to watch the new Joker movie. I know it is probably going to be bad, but worst case, it sucks. I enjoy some popcorn and a Diet Orange Fanta. thank you, everybody, for joining. Appreciate y'all. Hope to see you at the video coming out on Thursday, where I'll be predicting the stat lines for RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and Scotty Barnes for the upcoming season. And Friday, watch-alongs are back on Amateur Sports. I hope to see you there. You get to see the new stream look, and we should have some fun along the way. If you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. If you enjoyed, smash that like button, and I will